Very good morning. Welcome to Chartbusters. Well, this is the show where we'll take stock of the market. We'll pull in a couple of managements and we'll tell you how to trade the Nifty as well. I'm Nigel D'Souza and with me today is Mangalam Malo. Hey Mangalam, we're looking at the index, but I think more than the index, the Indian rupee is something that's really catching your eye. In the last few trading sessions, from moving towards that 72, we're seeing some strength. It's come down to around that 71 odd mark. In fact, holding below that level. And the obvious trade always with regard when the rupee is moving, you look at the IT index. So I think it makes sense just to pull up the IT index and let's see what that's doing. It should ideally be under some pressure at the low point of the day.
Yes, it is indeed at the low point of the day, but that's as far as today is concerned. Over the last 1 year, the IT index has actually moved higher by about 29%. Exactly. This compares with the Nifty moving higher by just about 4%. So we have seen a stark outperformance of the IT space. Rupee at the low point of the day, but remember, rather at the high point of the day. Let's see how that goes about. The IT stocks are pressuring the frontline markets, but by and large, the indices, all of them, absolutely flat.
Okay, all right. Let's get the trade then. On the Nifty at this point of time. The Nifty is holding at around 10,875 odd. How do you trade the Nifty from here? Ashwani Gujral joins us to give us his call at around 10:30 a.m. today. Hey Ashwani.
See, yesterday, we spent all day holding the averages, the 20, 50 and 200 on the Nifty. Today also in the morning, we've tried to break yesterday's low. But now that's failing and the market is finding some amount of upside traction. So my call would be to, buy into the Nifty, Bank Nifty, stop at about 10,850. And I think once the market realizes that it's not getting anywhere on the downside, we should get past 10,900 and see some fairly strong bout short covering. Today, the mid-cap index or the junior Nifty index is hardly down 15 odd points when, most of the days it quickly falls to about 150, 200 down. So somewhere, there is a little bit of buying that's coming in. So having said that, financials are doing very well, both in terms of NBFCs, PSU banks, even private banks. So today could be a day when financials lead the market on the upside. Having said that, ICICI proves a buy with a stop of 300, target of 314. PNB is a buy with a stop of 69, target of 78. And Canfin Home is a buy with a stop of 240, target of 255.
Fair point hanging there, Ashwani, indicating that there could perhaps be some more short covering if the markets continue to hold on to the 20-day moving average, which where the Nifty is right now, 10,872. 200-day moving average kicks in at 10,857. However, a word on Eicher Motors, Ashwani, because the stock has fallen from levels upwards of 30,000 over the last few months to now 21,000. The management has cut guidance, and after that, we've seen a recovery from the lows. Your view?
See, all of these stocks are in a temporary bear market. And, they need to do some amount of basing and, they need to basically consolidate before they move up again. Every second day we want these stocks to move up like last couple of years, but that was a different, zone. Today is a different demand environment, etc. I think autos should be seen as cyclicals, where this is the down cycle. So unless we have very clear evidence that downside is over, I don't think you should be in a hurry to buy into these stocks.
What about Titan, Ashwani? That one's doing well. It was expensive before its numbers. After the numbers, it's getting more and more expensive. And we're seeing that trend really play out. The stocks move to the high point of the day. The cheaper stocks, valuation-wise, are getting cheaper. The expensive ones are getting more expensive. On the charts, how's it looking?
Well, things get expensive when they have some amount of quality. And Titan, of late, it's not now correcting on the downside. It moves sideways and then gives you a fresh breakout. Ever since we broke, this 1,000, 1,050 zone. So my sense would be it will move to 1,200 and you shouldn't be waiting for corrections on such stocks. See, basically, India is a market of consumer stocks. And till elections, I think they provide you biggest amount of safety So these are, no-brainer stocks, even if they keep on getting more expensive.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much, Ashwani, for joining in and giving us all those trades. Well, Mangla, I just want to spot out two stocks. One is Godavari Power and Ispat. Yesterday, we had both the managements, Sarda Energy as well as Godavari Power and Ispat. They were telling us about how pellet prices have moved up. So it could be temporary in nature, but the way the prices have moved in the last 10 to 15 days by nearly around 18% is what the management's told us. So that stock is reacting. Let's pull up Godavari Power and Ispat. But just want to alert all our retail audience out there, the stock as well has moved from around 210 to around 251. Yes, if these prices continue, then the stock could do well because they're making more amount of money, and input costs, they're getting, they're protected from that because they're getting it from captive sources. So that's one stock in an otherwise dull market that's doing well. So keep an eye out on Godavari Power and Ispat, the likes of Sardar as well. And the other one we're looking at is Graphite India. I remember when the numbers came out on a year-on-year basis, they looked very, very good. But that wasn't really the way to look at it. You need to look at it on a sequential basis because the margins fell from around 69% to around 59% on a sequential basis. And from there, in just the last, maybe 10 days or so, the stock has corrected from 525 rupees all the way to around 410 rupees. So be very, very cautious when you're playing some of these temporary, phenomena. Graphite electrode prices did so well, the stocks ran up, and now those stocks are nearly half from the peak. So just be very, very careful when you're playing some of these themes. You need to be absolutely have your eye on the ball and track what's happening in both these two spaces. Pellets I'm referring to, as well as graphite electrodes.
Absolutely, and you will keep getting updates of the same. We will keep continuing to getting all those managements on our channel to get you updates on the prices of all these commodities. But with that, we slip into a short break. Before we do that, watch out for the biggest event of this year, the News 18 Rising India Summit, to be held in New Delhi on February 25th and 26th. This is one platform where you can catch all the biggest newsmakers of the country, from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, BJP President Amit Shah, to opposition Chief Ministers Kamal Nath and Bhupesh Baghel. Along with a whole host of union ministers will be Bollywood and sports icons like Deepika Padukone and former coach of the Indian cricket team Anil Kumble. That's the News 18 Rising India Summit in New Delhi on February 25th and 26th.
All right, let's slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll invite our first management, HIL. That's the stock under pressure this morning. Yesterday as well, it was under some pressure. It appeared like a rather weak set of numbers. We'll get chatting with Mr. Dhirup Roy Chowdhury. Stay with us.